I'm Jordan Dann, and I'm the Education Director for the Shakespeare Society. This evening I'm here with three of our fantastic teaching artists. And I'd like to begin, first of all, by telling you just a little bit about our Shakespeare in Schools program, which typically sends teaching artists into the classroom for residencies ranging from 1 to 12 sessions to support teachers who are teaching Shakespeare curriculum. So typically and high school students and middle school students, typically what this means is that the teaching artists are coming in to either focus on a particular aspect of the play, perhaps a scene, perhaps enlivening characters, and they are offering the teachers and the students activated, up on their feet experience of Shakespeare curriculum, really exploring the play from as it wants to be, which is from the standpoint of an actor. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about an event that we just finished with PS 166, which was a week-long Shakespeare festival. And we had the opportunity to have 5 teaching artists for 3 days, going into 35 classrooms and making contact with 1,000 students. And I had asked each teaching artist, as we came together for the first time to co-create this curriculum together, to come with a few ideas. And there were such incredible ideas that were offered by every single one of the teachers, but we were able to be a democracy and decide on exploring A Midsummer Night's Dream, because the themes around magic and love seemed to appeal to all of us, and also felt like an appropriate play to celebrate for spring. So I have with me Sarah Abrams, Keith Fasciani, and Kailie Larkin, and they're going to tell you a little bit about PS 166 Shakespeare Week with Shakespeare in Schools.
Yeah, we started with all gathering together and having this wonderful question of what would you do, what would you teach if you could teach 35 classrooms Shakespeare. And it was wonderful to have those discussions, and then also in the process just to be learning from each other, to be learning all of our different tools and our excitements. And I think that this was a process of us all absorbing different ways of engaging students and different ways of making it exciting within ourselves and with them. So that was a great part of the process.
Absolutely. And so with all of these ideas that we came into the room with, we were able to sort of center on this concept of power and transformation. We thought that those were really exciting ideas. And again, we used all of our strengths and experiences to create a curriculum where the students were building the world, exploring these themes actively with their bodies, voices, and imaginations.
So what a typical class would look like is we would show up in a team and we would move all of the desks aside, and for the kindergarten, first and second graders, we were exploring the world of the fairies in A Midsummer Night's Dream, which meant that we explored actual fairy bodies that the students created themselves, and then explored the world of the forest and the world of fairy play with powers and magic and that kind of stuff. And with the third, fourth, and fifth graders, we were working more in the world of the lovers of Helena, Demetrius, Lysander, and Hermia, and of the emotional shifts that happen between those characters, and playing with text and how specific pieces of text can be different depending on the emotion that we're playing with. And some really great discussions at the end of those classes would come up, which was really exciting.
Yeah. One of the reflections that I had in a class at the end, when the younger students had explored some of the text of Titania and Oberon, and they had explored it with power and without power, because there's this shifting dynamic between the two characters. And at the end, we had some great reflection questions, but one of the students tapped me on the shoulder afterwards to tell me that she felt like as fairies we had to go save the world with the powers that she had, which I thought was a really great testament to how that exploration of power really made her feel empowered. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was interesting to start at the beginning of entering a classroom, just having 40 minutes with them, this being a very special occasion, and just starting off with asking these students from K to 5th grade to say, what do you know about Shakespeare? And I remember many hands flying into the air. He was a dancer, or and I loved that they knew who he was. They knew he was important, and they were game for playing out with him, playing him, but they weren't sure who he was. And then to get to the end of our exploration, and for them to realize, oh, this is why we're still exploring Shakespeare hundreds and hundreds of years later, because it's fun, and he got all this stuff that we're exploring. So.
I will not forget at the end of one of my kindergarten classes after exploring the fairies, we were talking about what it felt like to lose your power after the power shifted from one group of fairies to another, and this one boy said that he felt like he was in another dimension of himself, which was really cool to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember watching one of your kindergarten classes, and this really sweet little girl was talking about what it felt like to not have the power, and she said it was like goodbye.
Which I think just goes to show whatever language you have at whatever age, she was using it
to express herself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, thank you so much. Thank you. And please, we are the Shakespeare Society. And if you're interested in learning more about our program, Shakespeare in Schools, or any of our other programming, please visit our website, shakespearesociety.org. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and please, for any educators and students, join us, become a member, and come and experience the wonderful programming that the Shakespeare Society has to offer. Thanks so much.